You are 25 years old, and your existence is defined by a mobile phone store in a strip mall just off the highway. Your pay is $14 an hour. You've been anchored here for 3 years. Your days are a loop of activating new phones, transferring personal data, and explaining service plans to customers who aren't paying attention. You offer smiles to people who never tip. Your expertise with the company's internal system surpasses that of your own managers. You can navigate its back-end software in your sleep. Performing a SIM card swap takes you a mere 90 seconds. It's the most elementary function in the system, something every new hire learns on their first day. But most of your colleagues never pause to consider the power that action holds. Home is a one-bedroom apartment with paper-thin walls and an air conditioner that struggles to push the summer temperature below 80 degrees. The rent is $950 a month, while your take-home pay is $1,600. After covering rent, utilities, gas, insurance, and the minimum payment on a credit card you maxed out for new tires last winter, you're left with just $200. That's your budget for food,
for everything.
$200 is nothing. It's the razor-thin margin between getting by and falling apart. You eat the cheapest food. You drive with caution to save gas. You never go out. Your last night out was 4 months ago. Your entire social world is the employee break room and the parking lot after closing time. You've memorized the location of every security camera in the store, distinguishing the real ones from the fakes. You know your manager takes a long lunch at 1:15 and won't be back before 2. You're aware the system logs every single transaction, but that no one ever reviews those logs unless a customer lodges a formal complaint. You possess this knowledge because 3 years at $14 an hour has taught you more about this building's vulnerabilities than any corporate training ever could. One Tuesday evening, a man approaches you in the parking lot after your shift. He's leaning casually against a car, his demeanor perfectly calm. He introduces himself as Marcus. He's 31. Marcus tells you he has a method for you to earn $300 in 90 seconds. He explains that all you need to do is your job, the exact job you already perform. Just process a single SIM swap. He lays it out. A customer will phone the store tomorrow and ask for you specifically. The caller will claim he lost his phone and needs his number ported to a new SIM. He will correctly answer every security question you ask. You verify his identity. You execute the swap. It's standard procedure. The only catch is that the person on the phone won't be the actual account holder. It will be Marcus's partner. The correct security answers are sourced from a database Marcus acquired on the dark web. Your role is simple. Approve the verification and process the request as if it were legitimate. You know this is a crime, but $300 is the equivalent of 2 full work days. You think about the $200 you have left after paying your bills. You think about that maxed out credit card. You think about the broken window unit. You tell Marcus you need to consider it, but you're not considering anything. Your decision is already made. The call arrives at 1:30 p.m. the following day. Your manager is out for lunch. A man phones, asks for you by name, and reports a lost phone. He provides the account holder's details. You bring up the account on your terminal. You run through the security questions. He nails every one of them. Date of birth, the last 4 digits of his social security number, the PIN associated with the account. Everything is a perfect match. You process the swap. 90 seconds. The system records the event as a customer-requested SIM transfer tagged with your employee ID. The request appears entirely legitimate. You followed the protocol. Except, you didn't. You knew the caller was an imposter. You approved it anyway. Marcus finds you after your shift. He hands you $300 in cash. He asks you how it felt. You reply that it was effortless. Marcus just smiles and says, "They're all effortless. That's the whole point." Marcus breaks down what happens on the other end after you complete the swap. The moment you process the transfer, the real customer's phone dies. No calls, no messages, no internet. Their device becomes a brick with a screen that just says, "No service." They will restart it. They'll pop the SIM card out and slide it back in. They'll assume it's a technical glitch. It isn't a glitch. It's a timer. And that timer just began. Marcus's associate now controls the victim's phone number on a fresh device. Every two-factor authentication code, every password reset link sent via text, every bank verification ping, it all now routes to their new device. Marcus's partner starts with the victim's email. He hits "Forgot password." The verification code is sent to the phone number he now controls. He resets the email password. Next, he moves to the banking app. "Forgot password." The code again goes to his phone. He resets the bank password, logs in, and drains the account. The entire window of opportunity is 30 minutes. That's the typical delay between the SIM swap and the moment the victim realizes what's happened and calls their carrier for help. Most people burn the first 10 minutes just restarting their device. They squander another 5 minutes asking people around them if their own service is down. Then they waste 5 more minutes finding Wi-Fi to search for reports of the carrier outage. By the time they borrow someone else's phone to call customer service, 20 minutes have vanished. Marcus's partner only needs 12. 12 minutes from the swap to the successful transfer. Marcus updates the terms of your arrangement. It's no longer $300 per swap. Now you get 10% of the total amount stolen. The typical target has between $15,000 and $20,000 in their bank account. Your share is now $1,500 to $2,000 for each swap. You begin doing 2 a week. That's $3,000 to $4,000 a week, earned from the very same counter where you explain data plans for $14 an hour. The calls continue. Different names, different accounts, but the procedure is identical. They call, ask for you, and perfectly answer all the security questions. You execute the 90-second swap. To the system, it looks like a legitimate customer request every single time. You keep working your normal shifts. You keep smiling at the clientele. You continue to wear the branded polo shirt and the employee lanyard. Your uniform is your key. Your employee login is your weapon. Without you, the swap is impossible. You are the gateway. Marcus is the one who walks through it. The first time a victim comes into your store, you nearly walk away from it all. She's a woman, maybe 45. Her phone went dead 2 days prior. Someone had emptied her checking account of $11,000. She has been on calls with her bank all morning. It's clear she has been crying. She asks you to look up her account activity. You pull up her file. You see the swap recorded in the system with your employee ID attached to it. You look her in the eye and state that the system shows a customer requested swap and that she needs to report this to the fraud department. She expresses her gratitude and leaves. You excuse yourself to the bathroom and just stand there for 5 minutes. Then you return to the counter and complete your shift. Those 5 minutes in the bathroom are the last time this will ever bother you. Marcus pays you for the first couple of jobs using Venmo. You tell him to stop immediately. Cash only from now on. Venmo creates a digital paper trail. Venmo has your legal name linked directly to your real bank account. Marcus agrees it's a smart move and switches to paying you in cash. But those initial 2 Venmo transactions are already permanently logged in the system. 2 payments, your name, his name, a digital receipt that can never be erased. You don't give it a second thought, just 2 payments out of dozens. What are the chances anyone will ever find them? The odds are 100%. You just aren't aware of that yet. You start paying down your credit card debt. You begin eating at actual restaurants. You purchase clothes that aren't from the clearance section of your own store. You tell your mom you've been promoted to assistant manager. She's thrilled, immediately calling your brother to share the news. She brags to her coworkers. She tells the next door neighbor. For the first time since your high school graduation, she is truly proud of you. But there is no promotion. There is no assistant manager title. There is only a 90-second swap, a 30-minute window, and 10% of whatever you can grab from the other side. Marcus has a source, a supplier on the dark web who sells meticulously curated target lists. These lists contain names, phone numbers, carrier information, answers to security questions, and, most importantly, estimated crypto wallet balances. The targets are not chosen at random. They are all crypto investors, individuals with Bitcoin and Ethereum stored in accounts on Coinbase, Kraken, or in hardware wallets linked to exchange apps that are secured by phone number verification. Crypto is the ideal target because its transactions are irreversible. A traditional bank can freeze a wire transfer. It can reverse a fraudulent charge. A bank can contact another bank to claw back stolen funds. Crypto offers no such recourse. Once Bitcoin moves from one wallet to another, it is gone forever. There is no bank to call for help, no chargeback to file, no undo button to press. The blockchain is indifferent to who initiated the transaction. It only registers that it occurred. The value of the target skyrockets from $20,000 to $200,000. A single swap can now yield $100,000 in Bitcoin. Your 10% cut is $10,000, all for 90 seconds of work approving a phone call. The sheer scale of the money is no longer just influencing your thinking. The math has completely replaced your brain. Marcus expands the operation, recruiting 2 more employees from different wireless carriers. Now you have 3 insiders across 3 carriers in 3 separate cities. As the original, you are tasked with training the new recruits. You show them how to approve the fraudulent calls. You teach them how to remain calm in the aftermath. You explain the 30-minute window. You instruct them to finish their shifts as if nothing unusual happened, because on camera, nothing did. A phone call was received. A SIM swap was requested. The request was processed. That is all the system shows. The operation now generates $60,000 to $80,000 per week. Your cut is 10% of all the money that flows through your store, $8,000 a week. At 25, you're earning more than the district manager for the entire region. The district manager has a business degree and 12 years of corporate experience. You have an employee login in a 90-second window. You upgrade to a nicer apartment, a 2-bedroom unit. You use the 2nd bedroom as an oversized closet. You buy furniture that doesn't come from a secondhand store. You get your car professionally detailed. You pay off your credit card in full. 0 balance. For your mom's birthday, you buy her a new television, a massive 65-inch screen. You drive it over to her house and set it up yourself. She just stands in her living room, her hands covering her mouth in disbelief. She's never owned a TV this large. You tell her you got a special employee discount at the store. There was no discount. The television cost you $1,100. Your most recent swap netted you $12,000. The TV was just 9% of a single score. Your mom watches the evening news on it every night. She has no idea. She watches the news and she smiles. And every Sunday, she calls you to thank you for the TV all over again. Each word of thanks is a lie she doesn't realize she's telling you. Every SIM swap leaves a digital fingerprint within the carrier's internal system. The employee ID, the terminal number, a precise timestamp, and the request log itself. Every single one. The system logs this data automatically. Normally, no one checks these logs unless a customer complains. Now, people are complaining. The carrier's fraud department flags your employee ID. In 3 months, you have processed 22 customer-requested swaps. All 22 of those customers called back within 48 hours to report unauthorized access to their financial accounts. 22 is not a coincidence. A fraud analyst pulls your complete swap history. She organizes it on a timeline. The swaps consistently occur on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They are always processed during your shift from your specific terminal and always while your manager is out to lunch. She doesn't have to guess. The pattern is your signature. The carrier alerts the FBI's cybercrime division. The FBI doesn't arrest you the next day. The FBI builds a case. They are patient because time is what makes a federal prosecution ironclad. They subpoena records from all 3 carriers involved. They link the swap numbers to drained bank accounts and emptied cryptocurrency wallets. They conduct interviews with the victims. 22 victims. 22 people who glanced at their phone one afternoon, saw no service, and dismissed it as a glitch. 22 people who lost savings they will never recover. The FBI compiles a file, and your employee ID is attached to every single name. They trace the stolen crypto through a mixing service Marcus used to launder the Bitcoin. The mixer was not as anonymous as Marcus had led himself to believe. The FBI possesses tools that can follow digital currency through mixers with the same certainty a bloodhound follows a scent through a storm. It takes more time, but the trail never truly vanishes. They trace the cash payments from Marcus to you. Marcus paid you via Venmo twice, right at the beginning, before you demanded cash. Just twice. 2 transactions. Your name, your bank account, connected directly to Marcus. Connected to the swaps. Connected to $340,000 in stolen funds, spread across 22 swaps over 3 months. 2 Venmo payments. 2 Venmo payments. That was all the proof they needed. One of the other phone store employees confesses the same afternoon the agents knock on his door. He gives them Marcus. He gives them you. He details the training sessions you conducted. He tells them about the target lists. He explains the 30-minute window. He gives them everything about the money. He gives them everything because his lawyer made it clear that everything is the only word that might reduce his sentence. They arrest Marcus at his apartment. On his kitchen counter, they find 3 burner phones. In his sock drawer, they discover a hardware wallet containing $47,000 in crypto. Marcus says nothing, but his silence is irrelevant. The blockchain doesn't require a confession. The blockchain is the confession. Every transaction is permanent. Every wallet is traceable. Every swap is locked in the record. They arrest you at the store in the middle of your shift. Your manager is in the back room. Your coworker is helping a customer choose a phone case. 2 agents walk in, pretending to be shoppers. They don't browse. They walk directly to your counter. You recognize their walk. It's the same calm, direct stride Marcus had when he first approached you in the parking lot. They know exactly why they are here. You know exactly why they are here. You have understood this moment was a possibility since that first $300 payment. You just never imagined it would happen on a Tuesday. You're wearing the polo. You're wearing the lanyard. They flash their badges. They say your name. They put you in handcuffs right there behind the counter. Your coworker freezes mid-sentence. The customer she was helping puts down the phone case and just stares. Your manager emerges from the back holding a sandwich. You are escorted out the front door, past the phone displays, the plan posters, and the new customer promotion sign you helped design. You were Employee of the Quarter last year. The sign will remain. You won't. Marcus receives a 7-year federal sentence. You get 3 years and 8 months. The phone company deactivates your login that same afternoon. 3 years of access erased in a single click, faster than a swap. You serve 32 months with good behavior. You're 28 when you get out. You move in with your older brother, sleeping in his spare bedroom. The room has a desk and a window that looks out onto a quiet backyard. You haven't experienced quiet in 32 months. You need a phone. You haven't held a phone in 32 months. You walk into a carrier store, a different carrier, a different city, a different state. You stand in line just like any other customer. There are 3 people in front of you. You wait. You haven't waited in a line like this since before you worked in one. The wait feels profoundly different from this side of the counter. The employee who helps you is 23 or 24. He's visibly bored. He's making $14 an hour. You can tell just by the way he moves. Slow, practiced, automatic. He's performed this task 1,000 times. He asks for your ID, sets up your plan, and swaps your new SIM into a new device. The process takes him 90 seconds. You watch his hands navigate the same system, the same screens, the same sequence of steps. The very same 90 seconds that ignited this entire saga. He has no idea what those 90 seconds are truly worth. But you do. For a moment, you consider saying something to him. You don't. What could you possibly say? You take your new phone and walk out of the store. Your first call is to your mom. She answers on the second ring. She asks how you are. You tell her you're fine. Fine means the same thing it has always meant. Then she tells you something she has kept to herself for 3 years. Your employee discount on her phone plan was terminated the day you were fired. She has been paying the full price ever since. An extra $47 a month for 38 months. That's $1,786. She never mentioned it because she didn't want you to feel any worse than you already did. She paid it quietly every month for over 3 years, just so you wouldn't have to carry one more number. $1,786. Your very first swap paid you $300. Marcus's final swap brought in $112,000. The FBI traced a total of $340,000. But your mom paid $1,786 in silence. The largest number in this entire story is the smallest one. That is the math. It has always been the math. The math takes everything, including the debts your mom paid quietly so you would never have to feel their weight. If this story made you look at your phone differently, subscribe. The next one is even worse.